I'm Tyson Davis with Dr. Susan DeBonis. We're both faculty members in the Department of Communication Arts, and we're here to show you what we do at Channel 97 and how it all works.
Basically, we have three groups of shows. First of all, our cooking shows, which include special events, City Beat, which looks at issues in the community and at GSU, and our Eagle News, the only TV news in Statesboro. What makes these programs so unique is that they're produced by students.
Susan's exactly right. As students in multimedia communications finish up their courses, they enroll for 2 semesters in a special course called Applications. And many of you may be more familiar with the title Practicum in other disciplines. And based on the student's major, whatever that major may be, he or she becomes a production staff member or a reporter photographer for Channel 97 and Eagle News. Throughout the semester, we produce close to 30 different shows, all shown on Channel 97. And one of those shows that we produce is Statesboro Cooks. And Statesboro Cooks, actually, you've done a Statesboro Cooks with your daughter. And I appreciate that very much because I normally do all of the Statesboro Cooks. And they're very cumbersome. I didn't realize how much time and effort went into doing a cooking show until I started doing Statesboro Cooks, but it's very rewarding.
Yes, part of it is that we all eat well.
Well, clearly,
I eat well. We eat well.
But I think the thing with Statesboro Cooks that I like to do most often is I like to take local recipes, be that from just a local cookbook or preferably a church cookbook. We've featured a number of different churches on the show, recipes from those church cookbooks on the show. And I like to take those recipes and try those recipes out and share the casseroles mainly that I like best, that I would take to a family gathering, a family reunion, or a family night supper at church, that type of thing, and feature those types of recipes.
Well, the show I did with my daughter was all about having a teenage party. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to get the frozen pizzas and the chips and the dip. You can actually do something else. And what surprises both of us all the time is how many people come up to us in the community and say, I saw that show.
It really is surprising because you would think Channel 97 is so far up on the dial, but we have many, many people who see it, and I appreciate everyone who watches it. We normally, with Statesboro Cooks, produce between 6 and 8 shows a semester for that particular show. So.
Well, but the other thing too is oftentimes people say, well, where did you get the ideas? And I think the interesting thing is that we don't refer to any old scripts or we don't refer to what experts say we should do. Mm-hmm. It's usually we sit around and decide what we're going to do.
Yeah, what we like, really. And I tell you something else is with every show that we do, I love to have guests on. I really don't like doing the shows by myself because I think that the shows should feature Statesboro as much as possible. And on a number of shows, well, of course, you've been on a show. The pastor at First Baptist, Dr. John Waters, has been on a show. Susan Jackson, a local actress, theater, stage actress here in Statesboro and an employee at Georgia Southern. She's the director of the assessments for disabilities. She's done the show, and they'll both do the show again. And for all the other shows, I like to have my students on.
And we have a lot of students who are all willing to volunteer for the cooking shows.
Oh, yes, we do. And we're going to try and do a Feed Me Fridays with my students, at least in one of my classes, where they give me $1 and I feed them for $1. I have to give them 3 courses. So we're going to try and do that at least once a semester.
Well, one of my favorite cooking shows was the one that you did about a year ago, I think, where you actually went to discount food places.
Oh, yeah. I went to the discount food store in Brooklet.
And you showed how to do a whole menu using less expensive foods, and it was one of the most tastiest you did.
Well, thanks.
Well, of course.
It was very good. I must agree. And I tell you what, we need to go to a break now because we need to come back after that break and talk about 2 other aspects of what we do here at Channel 97. And you're going to head us up for that one, aren't you?
Yes, City Beat and our news operation. We'll be back in just a moment.